No, ma'am. I don't think so.
I pressed recording.
Okay, ma'am. Now it is.
Okay. I'm not projecting it. Okay. Right. So boiling point in the last class what we discussed was like boiling point increases with increase in the molecular mass or the size of the molecule. That was a major thing we discussed. As you can see, methane to ethane to propane, when the carbon atom increases in a molecule, boiling point also increases. So boiling point of an alkane increases with molecular mass, and the explanation is that when the size of the molecule increases, there are more surface area. More surface area mean van der Waals force of attraction increases. That is why boiling point increases. So if you have a methane molecule CH4, another molecule of methane, the size of the molecule is so small that interaction between them is very less, weak van der Waals force. But you have number 3 carbon or 4 carbon compound when the carbon atom increases. So between such molecule, there will be more contact point because the size increased, and more contact point mean more van der Waals force of attraction. That is the reason why boiling point increases with increase in the molecular mass or the size of the compound, or you can say the number of carbon increases, boiling point increases. So this was the last point we discussed last week. So there is one more thing question which used to come related to boiling point. For that, let's look into this table. So I have taken 3 compound pentane, 2-methyl butane, 2,2-dimethyl propane. So pentane is C5H12. C5H12 is the molecular formula, as you can see over here. All the 3 compound has got same molecular formula. That means their formula same mean their molecular mass is same, but their boiling point is different. So actually these 3 are isomers. Same formula but different arrangement. That is what isomers mean. The molecular formula is same but their arrangement is different. So pentane is a 5 carbon. 2-methyl butane means 4 carbons in a chain and 1 carbon is a branch. 2,2-dimethyl propane means 3 carbons in a chain and 2 carbons are in branch position. So anyway, total there are 5 carbon atoms in all the 3 compound and 12 hydrogen atom. That is why they are isomers. Same molecular formula but different arrangement of the atoms. So among the branches, like you can see, the boiling point is decreasing when the number of branches increasing among the isomers. Pentane is 5 carbons without a branching. 2-methyl butane means 4 carbon with 1 branch. So its boiling point decreases from 309 to 300.9 Kelvin. And when you have one more branching increases, so 3 carbons with 2 branches, the boiling point further decreases to 282.5 Kelvin. So what you can understand from this table is that when the branching increases among the isomers, all of them are same molecular formula, boiling point decreases. Why? Why boiling point decreases when the branching increases, even though all of them contain same number of carbon and hydrogen? What will be the reason?
Ma'am, is it because of decrease in surface area? So the van der Waals forces also decreases.
Yeah, very good, excellent. Yes, Jonathan. That means we discussed that alkanes are non-polar compound. So between the molecule, only interaction is van der Waals force, right? There is no other polarity, nothing. The molecules are non-polar, so no interaction is there. That's why they are very weak van der Waals force. Even though it is a weak van der Waals force, when the size of the molecule decreases, the contact point also decreases. So van der Waals forces further decreases. So when you have 5 carbons in a chain, okay, and you have 4 carbon with 1 branch, that means you can see the size is decreasing automatically. That means the surface area available for making van der Waals force is decreasing when the branching increases. So that is what you can say. This is what very important. You will surely get a question either asking for the explanation or asking for arranging the molecules in the order of their boiling point. So when branching increases, surface area decreases. That means van der Waals force of attraction decreases, which further results in decrease in boiling point. So this is the correct explanation. If it comes, all these 4 points should be there in your answer, and whatever way you won't have to explain, include these 4 statements. So more branch mean it will look like more, what you can say, concised. The shape of the molecule will be more branching mean its size will be more like a sphere. That means the surface area is for the interaction for the weak van der Waals force decreasing. That will decrease the boiling point. One of the important question, even for the competitive exam, very easy topic, but surely you are gonna get a questions based on this. Done? Clear? So let's do one question. This is what highlighted is important here. So make sure that you are writing down all these points. So generally the trend in boiling point, the bigger molecule, greater the size, boiling point increases. But those with among the same molecular formula, that is isomers, based on the branching, the boiling point decreases. Okay, so let's do one example, like you should get an idea on the questions. So I got propane, butane, two methyl butane, then I have 3 methyl pentane, hexane, 2,3 trimethyl butane. So these compounds you need to arrange them in their increasing order of boiling point. 6 compounds are there. So if I want to number them, first one is propane, second one is butane, third one is 2-methyl butane, fourth one is 3-methyl pentane, fifth compound is hexane, and the sixth compound is 2,3-dimethyl butane. So arrange these compounds in the order of their increasing boiling point. So when the questions is about boiling point, look into the number of carbon atom. That will give you the formula. So propane mean how many carbons will be there? Yes, 3 carbon. Butane is 4. And 2-methyl butane? 2-methyl butane. How many carbons?
5.
5 carbon. Butane is 4 and 1 methyl group, that is 5 carbon. 3-methyl pentane. 6 carbon atom.
6.
Yeah. Hexane is again 6 carbon atom. 2,3-dimethyl butane.
Ma'am, 6.
Again 6 carbon atom. So that first will give you an idea. Lower the number of carbon, lower is the boiling point. So among all these examples, propane is the one with the least number of carbon atom. That means the least molecular mass. So lowest will be boiling point will be for propane, first one. Then
you have to find the boiling point in this question.
Arrange these molecules in the order of boiling point. So you have to find which one has got the least boiling point And in the increasing order, you have to arrange the others.
Ma'am, second will be butane here.
Yeah, so second one will be butane because that is the only one with the 4 carbon. Then,
Ma'am, 2-methyl butane.
yeah, third position means you have got 5 carbon again, that is in the order 3 because that is the only compound with 5 carbon. Then coming to the 6 carbon compound, there are 3 6 carbon compounds. Even though they are different, one is a pentane, other one is a hexane, other one is a butane, but overall the compound contains 6 carbon. So that is molecular mass is important.
Ma'am, fourth, it'll be 2,3 dimethyl butane because it has more branches.
Yes, yes, I said. That means among the 3 compounds with 6 carbons, which one has got more branching will have the lowest. So it will be 6th one. Because it is 2,3 dimethyl, that means 2 branches are there and 4 carbon chain. So that will have least among 6 carbon compounds. Then,
Ma'am, it's fourth one, right? Next one.
yeah, it will be 4th one because,
And fifth.
yeah, it will be 5th one. So this is how the questions will come. And you have to, and this is there in the grade 12 as well. That is the funnier part of it. Even though you're learning it here, the question can be there in the board exam grade 12. So it is carried to the next grade as well. So it's very important, and all the carbon compounds basically applicable in this way. Like based on the number of carbon atom increases, usually boiling point increases. I hope I made myself clear in this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is by this we are finishing the physical properties of alkene, moving to the chemical properties. Chemical properties mean the chemical reaction, that means how alkanes react in a chemical, like how take part in a chemical reaction. So there are different reactions in which alkanes take part, and the first one is substitution reaction. Substitution means from the word itself as it clear, one atom or a group of atoms is substituted with something else, taking the position of something else. That is what the word substitution means. One taking the substitution of something else. So here in substitution in organic mean, especially for alkanes, if you take methane, it is made up of 4 hydrogen bonded to the carbon. So here substitution will be replacing the hydrogen with another functional group. So you can replace 1 hydrogen, or you can replace 2 hydrogens, or 3, or all the 4 hydrogens in methane. So substitution means at a time 1 hydrogen each will be substituted with a functional group. So usually it will be halogens, or it could be a nitro group, or it is a sulfonic acid group. Sulfonic acid group means SO3H group. Okay, but the thing is that at normal condition with the lower members of alkanes, only substitution of halogens is happening. Maybe the bigger elements may undergo substitution with nitro and sulfonic acid, but for us what is important is substitution with a halogen. Because only lower members, only halogen substitution is favorable or feasible. The next two are only available with this greater members, higher members, and that too in a specific condition. So we are discussing only substitution reaction of by halogens. So a reaction in which hydrogen atoms of alkanes are substituted are known as substitution reaction. So here we are discussing on substitution by halogen compound because that is what common among lower members of alkenes. So first one is halogenation. That is, under substitution, you can have halogenation, nitration, sulfonation, but
Can finish
halogenation
with
is
the
the common
previous
one.
stage.
Yeah. So as halogenation is only the one which is taking place for the lower members, we will discuss only about substitution with halogens.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this is very easy as you can see. CH4, chlorine and H nu. This is mean light. Presence of light is required. That means if you just mix methane gas with chlorine gas in a container, reaction will not happen until you pass UV light to this mixture. So that means it is a photochemical reaction. The light is required for this reaction to happen. This is one of the example for photochemical reaction where light energy is used, or the presence of light is required for the reaction to start or to happen. So we just write H nu, that is understood that presence of light, UV light is required. And as you can see in the first step, one of the hydrogen is replaced with chlorine. So you are getting chloromethane. So CH4, one hydrogen gone with and replaced with chlorine. So you got chloromethane. So if you have taken a container and you started with methane plus Cl2 and H nu is passed through it. So what happens is like it will form chloromethane, but that chloromethane is still there in the reaction condition. If you're not removing it, what happens is like after some time, this chloromethane undergo further halogenation, chlorination, and the second hydrogen also will get replaced. So you get dichloromethane. So if you look into the arrangement, this is 4 hydrogen atoms. And in the first step, one hydrogen is gone and you replaced it with chlorine. So you got chloromethane. And if that chloromethane...
So all these reactions will only happen in the presence of sunlight, right?
Yeah, light is required. If light is not there, means this reaction won't happen. You won't get the product. When this chloromethane stays there, the second hydrogen also goes and it get replaced with one more chlorine, which is known as dichloromethane, because 2 chlorine atom. So it's a dichloromethane. And if that compound stays in the same condition, again, the third chlorine will be replaced and you get trichloromethane, that is CHCl3. And finally, the fourth hydrogen also will get replaced with chlorine. And that is what tetrachloromethane. After that, there is no more reaction possible because there is no more hydrogen left. So maximum halogenation means all the hydrogen in that alkane is replaced with chlorine and that will be the final product. So it's actually a chain reaction. You cannot control it. Once it's replaced with one hydrogen, then second hydrogen also will replace, then third hydrogen also will be replaced, and fourth hydrogen is also will be replaced. So it's an example of chain reaction, and the mechanism you don't have to learn. It's about a free radical mechanism. We are not discussing that. It's not important for us. But just understand that it is a chain reaction which will carry it out continuously if you are not disturbing. If you are not taking out the product, the same product will undergo further substitution finally until all the hydrogen is replaced with the chlorine atom. So that is what the importance of halogenation. It's a photochemical reaction. It is a chain reaction. Yeah. That means always you will get in your compound, in a container, no, you will have mix of products. You will have chloromethane, some dichloromethane, some trichloromethane, some tetrachloromethane. It's a mix of reaction. You will get a mix of products until you control it. So that is what halogenation. If you look into the another halogenation for ethane, CH3 is an ethane molecule, and you can see it is CH3 CH2Cl. One hydrogen is replaced, and you will get chloroethane. This is chloroethane. So if they ask for just an example of halogenation, just show one replacement. Don't show everything. Okay, this is what very common. Mono substituted products is more common because that very easy. Di, tri, tetra, all that thing will be like not very common. So mono substituted products are very easy to obtain. So they are common products obtained in the substitution reaction. Any doubt in this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then the reactivity order. If you have fluorine, you have chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Okay, because halogenation can be any halogen you can take, but the reaction will be faster if you take fluorine. Then comes chlorine, then bromine, and least reaction is when you have taking substitution with iodine. So the order of the reactivity or the reaction, substitution reaction is easier when you are substituting a hydrogen with fluorine. Similarly, if you have alkane, alkane can be of tertiary, secondary or primary. So the reactivity order in terms of alkane is when tertiary alkanes are more faster in substitution than secondary or primary. So in terms of halogen, this is the reactivity order. In terms of alkane, this is the reactivity order. Tertiary to secondary to primary. That means if you have a compound like this, CH3, 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 H. Okay, this is a tertiary alkane because that carbon is attached with the 3 alkyl group. So this hydrogen can be replaced with chlorine to form. This reaction will be faster than just taking CH3, 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 sorry, CH2, CH3, a normal alkene that is primary with chlorine, you will get CH3, CH2, 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 Cl. Because that is primary, so the reaction will be slower comparatively to the tertiary alkanes. So these two reactivity orders is important. Again, for multiple choice questions. Notes are already uploaded, so please refer to it if you're not, you're unable to write the entire thing over there. But additional thing what I write, the examples questions, that won't be there in the PPT. So make sure that you write them all clearly. Okay, so that is about the first reaction of alkane substitution reaction. Okay, the next reaction is combustion. That is one of the easiest example you can remember for alkane because we know that methane, butane, C4H10. Butane is part of your cooking gas. So it's used as a fuel, and hexane, heptane, octane are part of petrol, diesel, kerosene. So all these examples of alkanes are used as fuels in our everyday life. Without the energy from these fuels, our day is incomplete. We are coming to the school or you're eating something by taking the energy like cooking gas. So that is basically butane. So all these examples of alkanes are good in giving out energy, large amount of energy once they react with oxygen. So combustion is generally reaction with oxygen. And we know that many compounds are there which can react with oxygen, but alkane, the important thing is that after the reaction with oxygen, there is an evolution of large amount of heat which makes them as a good fuel. So all these are giving out, you can see the amount of energy they give out. Butane gas, that is part of your cooking gas, which is giving you almost 2875.84 kilojoule per mole energy. When it undergo, 1 mole undergoing will give you this much energy. So as the higher numbers, the more reaction will be more, what you can say, giving out more vigorously more energy. So they are acting as a good fuel. And another important thing to note it down in the combustion is that whatever the alkane you take, the product will be carbon dioxide and water. Whether you take methane, ethane, propane, butane, hexane, octane, decane, or any other higher members of that, if it undergo complete combustion, that is enough amount of oxygen, then the products are just carbon dioxide and water. In all these cases, the products are common and you will get carbon dioxide and water. So if I take C5, H12, pentane. So how to write the balanced equation for the combustion is that you write oxygen, don't balance the oxygen in the beginning, always balance the oxygen after writing the other parts completely. So C5H12 means there are 5 carbon atom, right? That means there will be 5 CO2. So number of carbon atom and the number of moles of carbon dioxide will be equal. That is how it goes. And number of hydrogen is 12. So number of water molecule will be half the number. So H12 means 6H2O. Because H2O contains 2 hydrogen so that it will balance the hydrogen. After this only you count the number of oxygen. In 5 CO2 there are 10 oxygens. In 6 H2O there are 6. So 10 plus 6 you will get. 10 plus 6 means 16. So it will be 8 O2. That is how you write the balanced equation, because here the products are common. Whichever the member of alkane you take and undergoing, like when they write the equation for combustion, the product is carbon dioxide and water. Only thing is that you need to balance. So please refer the notes if then we'll continue in the next class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ma'am, did you upload the PPT?
Yeah, it's already